Well, hello my friends and welcome to Siggy Air. Today we are in Miami and today we are in Miami, Florida. We are flying today to Mexico and we're going to kind of go through the process of starting this beautiful aircraft there because it's very interesting. It's the more I fly it, the more I like it. And the other thing is that it's because it's challenging. You know, there are some challenges, especially on takeoff and landing. All right, so we're going to be using Sayintentions.ai for our ATC. So before we do anything, we're just going to pick up, we're going to use the EFB to import our flight plan. So here we are, Kmia to Mmmx. So before we can send it to the FMC, we'll just get the baby started here, and I believe we have ground power available to the air at this stand. Yes, we do. So first thing we do is just open and get the battery going. And since we have exterior power, we're going to click on that. And then we're going to set our navs here. Alright, so now that we have that available and that we set the IRSs to be aligned, they will start flashing, and we have to confirm that in the FMC. Alright, so let's go down here. We're going to do a test of the cockpit voice recorder. That's alright. Let's close the battery cage here. We're going to arm the emergency power. We're going to arm the emergency lights. Okay. And that looks good at this point. We also right now we're going to get the APU started over here. It's flashing. Once it starts, it will show available and we can close the external power. Right now we can go ahead and send the flight plan to the FMC, and that's okay. Then we're gonna set our payload, and we're just going to accept that payload at this point. We don't have too much on the payload side here from Miami to Mexico. Some computer chips, some stuff, but nothing too heavy. Alright, so let's go to the FMC. And we go to flight, we make sure that the active database is within the dates here, which is July 11th to August 7th, and that is correct. So we're going to go to just check on page 2 here, and it's preferred database and all that is good. So let's go back here and then flight plan init. And here we're going to set our alternate, which is Mmmx. No, I'm sorry, whoops, sorry about that, MMAA, and we'll set it here, and then we can click on initialize IRS. Flight is, we always do SIGI, SIG 1123. That's how we have it set up with Sayintentions here. Our cruise altitude is going to be, I believe, flight level 400, 380. Let's set that in. Cost index is 20. And it's going to roughly take about 3 hours. The weather, minus 53. and slash the wind is 3, and that's all good on this page. And we need to actually set fuel and payloads here, and that should reflect over here. So we just click on these and they will be automatically set on our FMC. Next page should be fine, and we are good on this flight plan in it. Alright, so let's go to flight plan. We can look at the raw flight plan over here. That will be helpful. But our routing is runway A08 left through the minor to departure, and then our transition is minor. So the sit is minor 2. Our transition is all set. 08 left, and we'll insert that. That should look pretty good here. Minor, and then that will be our top of climb. And then let's go into no discontinuities here. Let's go into our top of descent and then our destination, and we'll set our star, and that will be runway 05 right on the NGA 3 Alpha arrival here. That all looks good. We need to put in our winds, and that's all the way down here. Insert that in there, and we'll insert that, and then we can go to takeoff and approach. And for that, we're all set with the sim brief planner here. For that, we go into our performance page, runway 08 left, which has a slope of 0%. And then let's get the wind weather information. We have a wind of 110 at 11 with a headwind component of 10 knots and a temperature of 31 Celsius. A little warm here in Miami. And then let's get our takeoff weight. Thrust will be flex, anti-ice would be off, flaps will just go 15. 15, and then we'll turn our, it's warm, so we'll turn on the packs and we'll calculate that. 134, 144, 160 with a flex temp of 59. So we're gonna set this over here. Slope is 0 with a headwind of 10, and outside temperature is 31 Celsius. Flaps 15, flex is 59. Packs are on. Flaps 15. But need to check and confirm the speeds. So we got 134, 143, and 160. I think this is 144. So let me check. Yeah, 134, 144, and 160.
Speedbird 208, Miami clearance. Clear to Heathrow via the full Z3 departure. Then, as filed, climb and maintain 9,000. Expect flight level 35010 minutes after departure. Departure on 126.05. Squawk 4552.
We'll confirm 134 and we'll confirm 160. And that is good. So, we are all set. We'll set the FO to flight plan. Set it for the progress page here for the moment. We are good to go. Our APU should be all set now. We're going to set the APU bleed. We can disconnect the external power. Meantime, we will check everything else. We need to set our lights here. So we're going to turn our live navigations on. We're going to turn our beacon on. We'll leave the logo and we'll turn on the high intensity lights. And okay, so emergency lights are armed. Meantime, let's get our ATIS here.
Temperature 31. Dew point 26. Altimeter 3017.
3017.
Arriving and departing runways 9 8 right, 12, 8 left. Visual approaches in use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested, advise on initial contact. You have information Romeo.
Information Romeo.
Miami
All right.
International Airport.
Let's go to center. We can ask for our clearance now. We got information Romeo. Miami Oceanic Center, Sigui Air 1123 at Miami International Airport with information Romeo. Would like to pick up our clearance to Mexico City.
Sigui Air 1123, Miami Oceanic Center. I am working on that clearance. Stand by.
All right, we'll stand by, my friend. All right, meantime, we're gonna set our flaps to 15.
Sigui Air 1123, Miami Oceanic Center. Cleared to Mexico City via the main or 2 departure. Then as filed. Climb and maintain 14,000. Expect flight level 38010 minutes after departure. Departure on 126.05. Squawk 4323. Expect runway 08 left for departure.
Cleared to Mexico City via the minor 2 departure, then as filed. Climb and maintain 14,000. Expect flight level 38010 minutes after departure. Departure on 126.05. Squawk 4323. Sigui 1123.
7 miles away, or as I like to call it, a really long walk.
All right, here's Janet.
Our flight number is ZIG 1123, which sounds like a password you'd never remember. Our captain today is Luis, and our first officer is Ziggy. If you look out the window and see the ground getting closer, that's just Luis practicing his landings. We have 265 souls on board, which is a lot of people who didn't read the reviews. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened during pushback. If you don't know how to fasten a seatbelt, well, I'm not sure how you got here. Turn off all electronic devices, unless you're using them to write a will. And remember, follow all crew member instructions, because we like to feel important. The weather in Mexico City is a lovely 68 degrees Fahrenheit, with a few clouds at 2,000 feet and broken clouds at 28,000 feet. Visibility is 7 miles, which means you can see far enough to regret your life choices. Our cruising altitude will be 38,000 feet, which is high enough to make you forget your troubles, but not high enough to forget this announcement. The estimated flight time is just long enough to watch a bad movie and regret it. Thank you for choosing Sigui Air, where our motto is, we get you there eventually. Enjoy your flight, or at least pretend to.
So I think Janet has been smoking too much of the walkie tabaki because she doesn't realize we are on a cargo ship. But anyways, we'll leave it like that. There's still no setup for cargo on the cabin crew section of Sayintentions.ai. But we'll let her pretend that she's doing something. Alright, so we need to set our stabilizer to, let's go back to the FMC here, and on the takeoff and approach stabilizer 4.9. So we need to come in here and I have it set up here on my yoke 4.9. Alright, meantime, we're going to set our flaps to 15. Alright, let's get this baby started. Gonna go ignition B, engine number 3. We're looking for 15 to 20% here. There we go. Alright, engine number 1 and engine number 2. Alright, that looks good. Let's arm the spoilers. The auxiliary pump is on and we have green here, and that looks good. Set to takeoff. And our APU should be shut down, and we're gonna clear the services here. We're gonna disconnect the GPU. We're going to set our brakes and remove the wheel chocks. There we go. We're looking good, my friends. We don't need a pushback, so we probably should have done a pushback, but I'm just gonna move around and pick up Kilo over there. So it's Kilo to Kilo 1. Let's go to ground. Miami ground, Ziggy Air 1123 with information Romeo. Would like to taxi to runway 8 left for our IFR departure.
Air 1123, Miami ground. Taxi to runway 8 left via Kilo 1. Contact tower on 118.3 when ready for departure.
Taxi to runway 8 left via Kilo 1, tower on 118.3. Thank you. Alright. Parking brakes off. And let's get going.
Cessna 908, Charlie Echo, hold short of taxiway Foxtrot traffic crossing ahead.
Holding short of taxiway Foxtrot, Cessna 908, Charlie Echo.
Kilo 1. Just a beautiful aircraft, I have to say. So I've chosen to do this flight. Did I say that already? Because of Inga and Claudia's videos on Lufthansa Cargo. If you get a chance, I think it's the channel's called Video Clips. Or don't quote me, but you can Google Inga, INGE, Inga and Claudia from Lufthansa Cargo. Check them out. They're good, they're funny, and they fly Lufthansa Cargo on the MD-11. Alright, let's do a couple of things here. We're going to set traffic and data, and I'll have the weather map here. Our transponder should be set to
Cessna 908, Charlie Echo, hold short of taxiway Echo, awaiting further instructions.
and
Holding short of taxiway Echo Cessna 908 Charlie Echo.
Ziggy 1123, contact tower on 118.3.
Tower on 118.3, Ziggy Air 1123, thank you. It's a nice view over here of our takeoff. Miami Tower, Ziggy Air 1123 at runway 8 left. Ready for takeoff with information Romeo.
Ziggy Air 1123, Miami Tower, winds 115 at 11, runway 8 left, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 8 left, Ziggy Air 1123. gonna hit auto flight once here. Again, arm takeoff, takeoff clamp. Initial altitude is actually 5,000 from per our chart, so I'm going to set that up here. We may get clearance higher at some point.
Bonanza 9001 Bravo cleared for immediate takeoff. Caution, wake turbulence from departing heavy.
Cleared for immediate takeoff, Bonanza 9001 Bravo.
We should use heavy, the heavy designation here. All right, we are good. We're gonna set check on things. We got our lights are good. Oh, no.
Skylane 422 Alpha Mike, enter left downwind, expect short approach.
Left downwind, expecting short approach. Skylane 422 Alpha Mike.
And then we need to check on spoilers. Our arm flaps are set to 15, ready to go. %, and we are thrust, takeoff thrust. $80 knots, check. Comes really fast. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Nav and profile.
Ziggy 1123, contact departure on 126.05.
Departure on 126.05, Ziggy 1123.
Establish on the localizer. 8 right approach.
United 04 Miami Tower, winds 115 at 11, runway 9er, clear to land.
Try to hand fly it as much as I can. Stay on the profile here. 5,000 comes really fast. Retracts, slats. And now we can hit our autopilot. Set the FMS speeds. I hear you. Okay, we'll stay on this profile. On this really nice departure from Miami. Look at over there. We'll just do the drone here. A little cloudy here to look at the city. Oh, I need to contact departure. Departure of Ziggy Air 1123 with you at 5,000. And I'm just doing all this stuff and not paying attention.
Ziggy Air 1123, Miami approach, radar contact. Cleared direct room M.
Cleared direct room in, Ziggy 1123. That's where we going, my friend.
Ziggy 1123, climb and maintain flight level 220.
Climb and maintain flight level 220, Ziggy Air 1123. Profile FMS speeds at this point below 250. 250 or below 10,000. So right now we are on profile to 38,000, and we are on climb thrust and flight level 220, and we are nav autopilot 1. All right, so spoilers come down, and now I have to take. This is kind of a tough part here because it's hard to do this. Shut that off and set it to off. Seatbelt stays on. All of that is good. Runway lights will go. Landing lights off at 10,000. Which we just passed 10,000. So,
ladies and gentlemen, we've reached 10,000 feet. You may now use your approved portable electronic devices, so feel free to pretend you're working. For your safety, please keep your seatbelt fastened at all times, even if Captain Luis, who once mistook a cloud for a mountain, turns off the fasten seatbelt sign.
I'll keep it on.
Ziggy 1123, climb and maintain flight level 290.
Climb and maintain flight level 290, Ziggy Air 1123. Alright. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for a direct, that's for a shortcut. After we reach minor 2, I'm sorry. 290 area.
Ziggy 1123, contact Miami Oceanic Center on 126.325.
Miami Oceanic at 126.325, Ziggy 1123. Miami Oceanic, Ziggy 1123, with you at 16,000 for flight level 290. Alright, so I need to set the standard.
Ziggy Air 1123, Miami Oceanic Center. Good afternoon, Miami. Altimeter 30.12. Lufthansa 421, heavy climb and maintain flight level 370. Climbing to flight level 370, Lufthansa 421 heavy. Ziggy Air 1123, Miami Oceanic Center. Climb and maintain flight level 360.
Climb and maintain flight level 360, Ziggy Air 1123.
Ziggy 1123, climb and maintain flight level 380.
Climb and maintain flight level 380, Ziggy 1123. There you go, that's a nice shot.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your lead flight attendant, Janet. We've reached our cruising altitude of 38,000 feet, which is quite high up, isn't it? The captain, who somehow managed not to crash us into a mountain, has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. For your continued safety, Zigyair requires that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated. In a few moments, Toby and I will be coming around with snacks and drinks. Try not to spill anything. We're not a cleaning service. Thank you for flying Zigyair Flight 1123.
Spirit 117, cross miler at flight level, tree 10. Crossing miler at flight level, tree 10, Spirit 117.
So, alright, so we got our arrival from ATC. Sayintentions has been on the money, I have to say. And we are on the NG3 Alpha arrival for the ILS runway 5 right into Mexico via the UCTEN, and that will give us that all the rest of the detailed information in about, he said 32 minutes. I'm really expecting that sooner than that, hopefully. So we can start our programming our descent here. So our approach is, so let's look at the flight plan. So we are
Ziggy 1123, alright, contact Mexico Control on 124.0, please.
Mexico Control on 124.0. Thank you.
Contact Mexico Control on 126.6.
Mexico Control on 126.6, Zigyair 1123. Mexico Control, Zigyair 1123 with you at flight level 380. Take off weight, we need
1123, Mexico Control, good afternoon.
Estimated is 176.8. We'll use that. (1,056 meters), and we got plenty of runway here, so that's good. Alright, so let's put in our landing information. Now we are at top of descent over here, so we'll go, if they don't give us any instructions, we'll go profile. Alright, so landing weight 178.8, that's confirmed, and flaps 35, VREF 146, descent forecast here. They should be calling us pretty soon, but I'm going to bring down, because this, if not, we're just gonna be in trouble. 9,800, because we need to be at flight level 300 over here, so we're gonna be a little bit late.
1123, Mexico Control, descend via NAX 3, Alpha for the ILS runway 5 right approach into Mexico. QNH 1019er.
Descend via the NG3 Alpha for the ILS runway 5 right approach into Mexico. QNH 1019, Ziggy Air 1123. Yeah, so that's basically what we're doing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your lead flight attendant, Janet. We've begun our descent into Mexico City, which means the captain has finally decided to stop playing with the autopilot. The seatbelt sign is on, so please fasten your seatbelts and try not to panic. Toby and I will be making our final rounds to collect any remaining trash. If you have any, now's the time to part with it. Thank you for flying with Ziggy Air, where our pilots are almost as good as our jokes.
I know, I let her be, you know? She's practicing. Let's say she has this assignment on the cargo and she's practicing for the real thing. Alright, FMS MCDU set for descent and arrival. That's already set. We have, let's see. It's a little bit different from the Phoenix because it doesn't say anything about starting your approach or anything like that, so that's not in the progress page either. Oh, alright, so but the data has been set. Landing data set at the FMS. Landing page and outer brakes. So outer brakes, we're going with low. So this is the thing. So going minimum, outer brakes. And then we are going with flaps 35. We'll set these over here. So 15 is fine, 35, and that's fine. Altimeters are 1019. Let's set that up. Okay. Altimeter set. 10,000 or above. Landing lights are on, and I think that once we get to flight level 200, we'll set the landing lights, and then we'll chime for sterile cockpit. As a matter of fact, why don't we do it now? And we'll bells will be on. No smoking sign on. Emergency lights are set. Everything else looks hunky-dory. Descent checklist completed.
JetBlue 617, cross team and at or above 10,000.
Crossing Timon at or above 10,000. JetBlue 617.
So yeah, no, Sayintentions just a little bit late. So I kind of like got ahead of them because I don't like the plane to be struggling to catch up with the profile. Alright, it looks like we are on profile here pretty much. Flight level 180, it's gonna hit that constraint here. Oh, it says add drag. Sometimes it's hard to see. Alright, we'll add some drag. We'll stay with FMS speeds here unless they give us any other restrictions here. So it's 230. That's good. And right here it shows that we are in profile.
Ziggy on 123, contact Mexico Control on 128.25.
Mexico Control on 128.25, Ziggy Air 1123. I'm liking really the accents here. They're doing a pretty good job. Mexico Control, Ziggy Air 1123 with you at flight level 180 for flight level 140.
Ziggy Air 1123, Mexico Control, good afternoon, CAS Aradequisneros, QNH 1029er.
QNH 1029er, Ziggy 1123. Thank you, sir. Alright, we'll update that QNH.
23, proceed, direct CF05R. Descend and maintain 8,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 5 right approach.
Proceed direct to CF05R. Descend and maintain 8,000 until established on the localizer. Clear for the ILS runways 5 right approach, Ziggy Air 1123. Alright, so we are direct to CFR05. Right, so he's giving us a shortcut, which is not too bad of a shortcut. We're gonna skip Almis. It's pretty much right there, so we're going in there.
Hawaiian 645 climb and maintain flight level 380.
So we're going
climbing to flight level 380,
direct.
Hawaiian 645.
There we go. And they give us 8,000. Let me check on our charts here for our approach on the ILS 5 right, and it's 8,900. So that's a little bit of a difference there, but I could still capture that localizer at 8,000. So I'm just gonna go with 8,000 as given by ATC. Now I'm just gonna have to slow down here because it's going too fast. I'm not sure why it probably lost the profile when I switched. That is too fast, my friend.
Ziggy 1123, contact Mexico approach on 119.75.
Mexico approach on 119.75, Ziggy Air 1123. Mexico approach, Ziggy Air 1123 with you at flight level 120.
Ziggy 1123, Mexico approach. Good afternoon, Atizapan de Zaragoza, QNH 1030.
QNH 1030, Ziggy Air 1123. Alright, things are getting busy here. QNH 1030. Now we are 120, and are there any restrictions here? Let's see. Speed restrictions. I don't see any. Alright, so we are on profile, we have capture, and we're just gonna go with approach. Ooh, there's some storms around here. And we need to we need to go to slats. And flaps 10. Flaps 15.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Janet here, your lead flight attendant, or, as I like to call myself, the airborne babysitter. We've begun our descent into Mexico City, which means it's time to turn off all your electronic devices. Yes, that includes your Tamagotchis and Game Boys. Please stow them until we've arrived at the gate, or until Captain Luis manages to land this thing without making it feel like a roller coaster. Also, put your tray tables away and your seat backs in their full upright position. And for the love of all things airborne, make sure your seatbelt is fastened.
Contacting approach
Thank you for flying with
125.8,
Ziggy Air,
American
where we aim to
1555.
land more smoothly than we take off.
Alright. Flaps 28.
Ziggy 1123, contact Mexico Tower on 118.55.
Tower on 118.55. Thank you. Mexico Tower, Ziggy Air 1123, inbound to land runway 5 right on ILS approach. Alright, full flaps.
Ziggy Air 1123, Mexico Tower. Ziggy Air 1123 is on a 4.6 mile final for runway 5 right, 8306 feet, heading 057, 196 knots. Ziggy Air 1123, Mexico Tower, winds 156 at 7, runway 5 right, cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 5 right, Ziggy Air 1123. I thought I had put the landing gear. That's the only issue that I had here. I thought I had the landing gear. Alright, yes, we needed this approach because it's
Ziggy 1123, say again please.
Disregard tower. Yeah, I don't.
Ziggy 1123, say again please.
Continue. Well, that was a little bit hard. I should have gone around, but...
1123, welcome to Mexico. Exit at Delta 1, if able. Contact ground on 121.85.
Exit at Delta, contact ground on 11.
Welcomes you to Mexico City. The local time is 4:29 p.m. For your safety and the safety of those around you, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and keep the aisle clear until we are parked at the gate. The captain will then turn off the fasten seatbelt sign, indicating it is safe to stand. Please use caution when opening the overhead compartments and removing items,
Bravo, Charlie,
since
cleared to
articles
land
may
runway
have
27,
shifted during
caution
flight.
birds on final.
Fun fact,
Cleared to land
Mexico
runway
City is
27,
sinking
Diamond
at a
Tree
rate
71,
of about
Bravo,
10
Charlie.
inches per year. So if you feel like you're getting shorter, it's not you, it's the city. Also, it's built on a lake, so, you know, bring a snorkel next time. The weather outside is a balmy 22 degrees Celsius, which is about 72 degrees Fahrenheit for those who still use the imperial system.
And let's clean this up.
Seguir 1123, Mexico ground, taxi to parking via Echo, cross runway 23 right, then Bravo 9er, Bravo, have a good day.
Alright, taxi to parking via Echo, cross runway 23 right, then Bravo 9, Bravo. Thank you very much. So this is this is Echo here. I did exit on Delta, that was correct, so I am glad I did that. And that was a very challenging landing because it was just right at minimums, and where I saw the runway, and yeah, it was a little bit rough. So Janet, it was correct. This was a really rough landing. All right, so we're gonna cross runway 23. Good thing we only had cargo. And then we going on Bravo. You know, we're cargo, so it's gotta be right in front of us. That's the cargo area.
Tornado 892 Tango Oscar holds short of runway tree 1 right traffic on final approach. Holding short of runway tree 1 right, Tornado 892 Tango Oscar.
All right, my friends, welcome to Mexico City. We just flew in the Lufthansa Cargo MD-11. It was I think it was a pretty good flight, except that landing was a little bit rough. But you know, this is it was, you know, I just had all these thunderstorms right up to minimums, and so it was a little bit of a rough landing, and this aircraft sometimes does that. But no excuse. I, you know, should have probably gone around. It was just right at minimums when, you know, I saw the runway. So anyway, like always, Sigi Air is best in the air. Sigi Air will get you there. My friends, I really don't make this stuff up. I'm only told what to say. We'll see you on the next flight, which is going to be Mexico City to New York. Okay.